Hey guys, welcome back to another Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath video commentary. I am Green Zero, and don't forget to check out my stream. There's a lot of videos over there from the streams we've been doing for the last week, and I still have one more week of streaming to go, so this is just a limited time only thing for this stream because I have access to a better internet connection just temporarily at the moment, but that will be going away. But you can check out all the videos, see the link in the description below. But I'm doing this cast here because this is the grand final series of the bike-RUsh+'s basically World Cup series. So he's been running this World Cup series just in the background, and they're up to the second round now. So it's just a little tournament he's thrown together, and it has been attracting some pretty good players, and this just happens to be the grand final from the second round here. So nice little tournament which he's running at the moment. But this is going to be a best of 7, so I'll try to keep it short, and we'll jump into the map here now. So basically we've got Technique in this game here on the left hand side of Tournament Galaxy, or should I say Tournament Technique, because he's built it specifically for his playstyle. Oh man, I give him so much shit about that, but I had a horrendous game on this, and it's on my stream as well against Unleash. It went for over an hour, and it was just nightmare mode, and I hated every second of it. But Technique is Nod. He's Vanilla Nod. No, wait, is he Vanilla Nod? Yes, he's Vanilla Nod. And bike-RUsh+ownz, of course, who's also made it to the grand final, defeating, I believe... actually, I didn't actually see the other brackets. I just know that Master League did lose to Technique. So, and I believe Unleashed was on bike-RUsh's side of the brackets. I'm not sure if they actually played, but... I had a brief look before the tournament started, but we are on Tournament Galaxy now. bike-RUsh was actually, we didn't even check his faction, he is GDI Vanilla. So it's GDI versus Nod, a classic matchup here from the Tiberian War days. And I think it's one of the better matchups. I mean, a lot of people like Blackhand and GDI. It's like the Zerg versus Terran of Kane's Wrath here. But nonetheless, bike-RUsh is going to come around. Rifle's simply better than Militant Squads, although Technique is coming up here, and will he be able to get the jump on? Yes, he will get the jump on that squad there, so nice work, cuts the scout off. bike-RUsh still has 2 more scouts in the middle. Obviously, they've delved into some type of conflict, and there we go. And look at that. Technique doesn't even hide the fact that there is an operations center coming down. I mean, he knows he's been scouted. He'd obviously already planned to do that build, and bike-RUsh had so many scouts. He had a lot of scouts out, especially for this type of play as well. But we're going to have to see how this goes. It's the best of 7, of course, so you can expect to see a lot of, or just one flame tank, just a singular flame tank there. And bike-RUsh, being as good as bike-RUsh is, probably knows it would have only been up for long enough to build just one flame tank and nothing else, no Reckoner, nothing like that. He's going to split or run his rifles away. I can expect some pit bulls and an APC coming out. Doesn't have a rocket squad in it or anything like that. One APC really won't be able to do too much against this flame tank unless he's planning on trying to mind bomb it, but I don't think Technique's going to fall for that. It's actually going straight down the guys. Here we go, people coming down now, and the APC is just probably to go get rid of the flame squad. And look at this bike-RUsh now, just picking apart this flame tank, putting as much damage as he can on it. Again, the buggy's not really going to do anything. He is going to start flaming the war factory. He's got the repair tool on it now. He should be able to save this. That's a lot of damage to the war factory though, so that's unfortunate. bike-RUsh though, he is unfortunately losing his APC. No, not quite. He will be able to overrun these guys just in time. But the Raider buggies are actually going to be able to come through, and he mind bombs as well. That's just annoying, but he doesn't get the buggy, and oh my god, the APC will escape. So little minor victories here for bike-RUsh, just opening things up. But Technique didn't really commit to that attack. He just put one flame tank down. It's not a big deal. The wounded buggy actually separates, which is actually really smart from Technique, not actually losing anything except for the flame tank. And of course, he has lost the flame squad. And bike-RUsh now going to move up here. He's going to find this wounded Raider buggy, which now will be retreating. Yeah, look at that. He really wants that. He's going to be able to destroy that, and he will actually get a pit bull for his trouble as well, with a lot of Raider buggies coming out. Technique is someone who will do this. He will just spam Raider buggies. Scores another kill on the pit bulls as well. And of course, with this level, I mean, as GDI factions, you kind of have to pit spam. Otherwise, you just have to camp like for the whole game, and that will just give map control to Technique. But it is just really, really difficult to play. Hopefully bike-RUsh does win this game. I want him to beat Technique on this level. But we have 5 and 2 here for bike-RUsh. He's got a 6th harvester, 7th harvester on the expansion now. And we have Technique coming out. Almost call him Master League like 5 times, or I don't know why. It just in my brain right now. But nonetheless, these guys are just going to dance around, and it's been a really dancey fight so far. I mean, there's been a continuous stream of very minor engagements here, And no one's, I mean, bike-RUsh has lost, what, like 2 pit bulls, Technique's lost a buggy and a flame tank and that flame squad. So second ref comes down now with an extra harvester there. So 4 and 2 on the expansion. bike-RUsh went for a second war factory first. It's usually what you see the Nod player do. Although Technique, no, he does have 5 and 2 on his main, although that one looks like it just came from the war factory. He's only leaving 4 harvesters here. Could leave a 5th one there, but he's already transitioning it to this field. That will slow his economy down a little bit because it's not necessary to move those just yet. He could just mine on this one here. I'd expect a second war factory to come out now, but bike-RUsh is going to have a bit of an advantage here because he does have a second war factory a lot faster than Technique, which means he's going to have a lot more units. But can he capitalize on this? I'm not sure if he's going to be able to capitalize on it. He is going to push forward. You can see on the radar there is a continuous stream of red coming across the map, and he's going to get a harvester kill straight away. Technique does not pull. He pulled that harvester way too late there. That's uncharacteristic of Technique. There is going to be engagement here, and a little bit of overkill. A couple of buggies go, a couple of bikes go down, but bike-RUsh probably happy with that, just to snare a harvester and then just back out. He is going to come in now, and he's slowly going to just edge back here. Just be a little bit careful. Technique might go for a third war factory now, I'd imagine. There is a structure coming down. Is it going to be a third war factory? That's the question. You know, it's going to be an operations center, so Technique not deciding to be too heavily aggressive. bike-RUsh already has a tier 2 and he's going for AP ammo. That's really the only thing it can be right now. Wouldn't be in the other 2 upgrades just yet. The other 2 upgrades are really very specific. Sensor pods, obviously if you're getting a lot of orcas, you want that, especially against stealth players and stuff like that. They can really hunt things down. And scanner packs, really not much help unless you master. Even you put the one zone raider squad into the TIB field just to prevent stealth tanks and of course to help out with zone heads and things like that. But now his spike is under attack. bike-RUsh, of course, being GDI, doesn't have much opportunity to actually try to defend this spike here. It would simply take him too long to get there. And Technique now just coming to the top of the map. He's on the north side. There are Predator tanks here, so bike-RUsh has decided to transition into these Predator tanks. And he will now start shooting at those. Only gets a singular bike there for his troubles, and APC will fall. But this is what you can do. Oh, he's actually sold one of his war factories. I was going to say, I thought he was just going to build up a massive amount of Predator tanks, camp with them until he has an unstoppable force and then just go and kill Technique, and then it won't matter if Technique goes around and destroys everything if he can't hold the bike-RUsh attack here. Actually transitioning the Scorpion tanks. Dozer Blade is done. Laser capacitors will definitely be on the way. It's really a map where you cannot afford to not get it as Nod. I mean, it's going to be so good. Now, the thing is, if he lets this go too much longer, he hasn't actually done any economic damage to bike-RUsh, which we'd expect to have done by now, especially on a map like this. So bike-RUsh is allowed to move up to this position where he's going to have a lot of armor. He's going to be quite powerful. He has got a third base down there. There's hammerheads and there's pitbulls here, so this buggy army probably not going to be terribly effective. I mean, buggy, obviously hammerheads aren't good against that, but if there's enough of them, and if there's pitbulls to draw fire, he could just be looking for a click right now, although he'll only get pitbulls with it. Tower comes down. AP ammo tower is actually pretty good against this, especially if you've got a couple. There's a garrison here where you can put 2 rocket squads in as well, just to cause further problems. Predator tanks will try to cut these guys off here, so they came down from the center of the map. Blue tip field looks like it's reasonably untouched. I think someone's taken something from there, but I'm going to take a quick drink. Oh man, I'm on holidays and I am loving it right now. But these hammerheads, yeah, they're just going to back off. Technique obviously sees him. He's got to be careful. His upgrade actually being stalled because he is low on power. And I'm expecting laser capacitors. There we go. Laser capacitors just finishes up. So that's really going to help him out, especially against his force. But if bike-RUsh gets railguns, that really will nullify the Scorpion tanks, because the Scorpion tanks are actually not too bad while they have these laser capacitors against the Predators. But as soon as the Predators get railguns, it doesn't really matter. The railguns are so powerful that they will just like burn right through the Scorpion tanks, unless they have some serious number advantage, which at the moment there's a lot of Predator tanks rolling around. bike-RUsh still continuing to take the blue Tiberian field, so we can only assume that he's the one that's been picking at that. Of course, he has lost his spike. He hasn't done anything about Technique spike. Has double militant squads in these bunkers here, just making sure it doesn't get capped or anything like that. Being ultra safe. bike-RUsh now goes for a tech center. This is going to be railguns, I'd imagine. There's no real reason to get the other 2 upgrades just yet. I mean, he could get pitbull more. He still has quite a few pitbulls, I think, floating around somewhere. Yeah, they're up here, but pitbull mortar upgrades quite quickly. That's upgrading quite slowly, so we can only assume that is going to be the railgun upgrade. And now Technique, he's going into avatars. So he went for laser capacitors only to transition to avatars. Now, Technique not playing the map the way that I think he built it here, which is a bit unusual. Tib Chem Plant is there, but on a map this large, I mean, you're not going to get the army. Oh, look at this, it's going to be engagement up here. It looks like a lot of hammerheads do get blown out of the sky. Not terrible losses there, but also not the greatest either. And I'm just waiting now for someone to drop a super weapon, because this is a map where you all pretty much need a super weapon. He will drop a catalyst, but again, there's no army in position to attack bike-RUsh. bike-RUsh has a lot of forces. He's simply just going to be able to rebuild that refinery relatively quickly. And he even had one already queued, like he already knew it was going to be dropped. So he's actually placed that within a few seconds of it being destroyed, which means he'd already expected that to happen. And now these hammerheads are going to come over here, and they're going to finally drop this spike. Now, in maps like this where the game can go incredibly long, the Tibbs spikes, it's definitely probably worth just trying to cap them, because it's a guaranteed source of income, no matter how small. If the game goes for like a million years, you can definitely benefit from that. I mean, that's like, what, 100 credits, 600 credits a minute. If the game goes for 10 minutes at 6,000, 12,000, freaking $18,000 in half an hour. So it definitely adds up quite a lot. Yeah, he's going to get picked apart there, these avatars. He kind of needs a redeemer. I'm surprised we haven't got a redeemer out just yet. He's still got, I mean, he's got a bit of everything. He's got Bite Buggy, he's got Scorpion now, he's got Avatar. He just doesn't seem to really want to sit on any one particular tech, and he's got all these units here which can be very aggressive. The thing is, he's just not being aggressive. He's just camping. I'm not sure what he's camping for. There is a defensive structure queued here. We'll have to see if that is going to be a nuclear missile, because I can only imagine bike-RUsh, he does have a defensive structure queued as well. We'll just have a look here. bike-RUsh doesn't know. It's just a tower, so neither side is kind of caught on the fact that you could just get a super weapon. Yeah, Technique now going for that tier 4 war factory, or tier 3 war factory. And bike-RUsh now just going to pull back to his own side of the base, so this game is going to get a little bit boring, I think. A few Predator tanks were left out in the field, maybe by a mistake, I'm not sure, maybe just to be a bit of an early warning system. It's a kind of unusual type of unit to have left out there. You could have just left a Rifleman squad, it would have been a lot better. There's one other Predator tank here as well. This Harvester is going to find no blue Tiberium, and he's going to find a lot of angry tanks here, so bike-RUsh does have a small force up there. His fast attack force is coming down. He's going to start picking apart these Scorpion tanks, because the Bike Buggy has left. The Bike Buggy is actually up here, so laser buggies, again, hammerheads do not like buggies to begin with, and laser buggies are just really nasty. Look at this bike-RUsh actually moving around. He actually got the scanner pack upgrade. Now that does, it increases the sight attack range, and it gives them a bit of stealth detection. It's only very small, of course. If we draw a bead around this Zone Trooper squad, the stealth detection is probably about that square, so it's not a pit bull, it's just in the general vicinity of the what do you call it, the Zone Trooper. They don't have to crash into the unit like normal infantry do, but yeah, they've got a little bit or a slight range on it. And of course it increases their attack range, I'm pretty sure, yeah, sight and attack range, so they can shoot further as well, which is always helpful. Is he going for an armory? I was going to say, if we see power packs, that's something you don't really see a lot. You can see it sometimes when you're fighting a screen player and you're forced onto the ground. You can get, you can just spam Zone Troopers, and they're actually quite good versus screen. So just something that's pretty hard to clean up. So these guys here are just going to kind of pick apart or pick at each other, and no one's gone for a super weapon, which means there's no tiebreaker situation here at the moment, because a super weapon can obviously really cause some serious damage. The nuclear missile probably better in this situation, because you can drop it onto an army relatively quickly, whereas an iron cannon you can definitely scatter your force before that hits. He's getting a massive force here, by the way. Look at this, look at all the units here that he's got. So this game is really just leading up. No, there's been no real significantly large engagements. There's only been very small pick at each other engagements, and a few small, probably medium average engagements, but we're just waiting for this really big engagement now. And he's actually got that garrison, that structure garrison, but it's only just militants in there, so they're not going to be able to do too much. That watchtower there, not actually going to collapse just yet, so. But yeah, Technique's kind of just biding his time here. Battle marker out here. The Redeemer's in the middle of the field. It's stealth, and it's double engineer, so there's no flame unit in that Redeemer. Obviously just planning on keeping it heavily repaired, or in a state of repair. The Marv is out. The MCV is on the move. Is that a second one? No, it's just the first one. He's actually going for either compo armor, or he might be going for... Nah, oh, he could be. He's still continuing to produce Zone Troopers. He's got a quad rail Marv. That's something you don't see. Used to be heaps popular at the start of Kane's Wrath, but not as popular anymore. because people value the repair pads on the back, and it's ridiculously expensive. Obviously in a situation like this where this game is going super late game and there's been no massive engagements, they've got a lot of money, so they're just going to burn it all. It's extremely powerful Marv that is there. It's not the most powerful Marv, of course. A quad zone raider Marv would be the most powerful because of the splash damage. It's just so much better. Well, it's not, I wouldn't say it's so much better, but it's definitely a lot better than rail weapons. It can kill infantry, it can kill just about everything, just murder everything, so it's quite good. Oh man. But yeah, we're just waiting for the big engagement now. Compo armor was researched, and he is actually going for another upgrade, so I don't think it's EMP grenades, because you don't really use EMP grenades against it. Oh, there's actually engagement up here. And the zone trooper squads get pretty much destroyed, and the hammerheads are coming in. Oh, this is risky. The hammerheads will probably get destroyed. There was a decoy army in there as well, and most of the hammerheads and pitbulls just got obliterated there. A very small trade, so that went definitely in Technique's favor there, just shaving off the fast attack force of bike-RUsh, but he still has to deal with this very heavily armored force here. There's a lot of juggernauts rolling around. Of course, the space command we know is out and about. Surprised no stealth tanks have come out from Technique. That would be incredibly difficult to stop on this map. The nuclear missile is there, and he's got master computer countermeasures. So if he gets hit by the shockwave, he can repower his units immediately. Of course, you want to wait for the shockwave to complete its animation or to complete all the shells, because if he uses it before the shells have all landed, he could get re-MP'd. And look at this, he's been spotted. Wow, this is going to be an easy kill here for bike-RUsh. Not aware, he's just going to run straight into it. The rage gen will cause sporadic damage there, but wow, that was a really easy kill for bike-RUsh, and now he's going to go for the attack. And I mean, he sunk 5 grand into a super weapon that's still 6 minutes away from firing, and he's got no rage generator now, which means he's going to have to fight this toe-to-toe, and I don't think... There's a commando in there. There is a commando where I completely lost sight of him. Did he get killed? No, he's right there. He's down there, and he's actually taking out the avatars. Oh my god, the Scorp tanks are getting massacred. They are getting absolutely massacred. That is not good at all. And that commando unit just going in and just destroying half the avatars. Is he still alive? I'm not sure if he's still alive, but the Zone Trooper drop pod is here as well. This engagement is going to keep going, but Technique, what's he going to do about this? I don't know what he's going to do about this at all. There's still a heavy force here, the Juggernauts. I'm not sure where the Juggernauts are. They should be at the back, perhaps. I'm not sure if they've come all the way, and he's trying to go in and crush these units here, but to be honest, he's just moving his Scorp tanks to their death. He does get actually a half-decent crush off there. And is he going to hold this? Oh, the Marv actually is there. Oh, bike-RUsh must have forgot to engage with the Marv. Whoa, okay, there was a Tib vein there. Was there a Tib vein? What happened to all the Juggernauts? Alright, so we clearly missed a Juggernaut fight there. Maybe the bike buggy went around and destroyed all the Juggernauts. There is one Juggernaut remaining. I might have to watch that one back just to see exactly what happened there. But nonetheless, bike-RUsh took a bit of a pounding. Unit streaming across, he sold his whole base off. He has sold off his whole base. Technique had to sell the nuclear missile. That's terrible. That's disastrous. It was just a total waste of money, basically. And he needs to keep the Marv alive. He needs to keep the Marv alive, which means he needs a war factory, and he kind of needs a rig as well to move it around. But I don't think, and he can't actually. There's no repair pads on the Marv, which means as it takes damage, it's actually got elite. As it takes damage, it can't self-repair, which means yeah, he's put a war factory down. But did he keep the? No, he didn't. He kept just one refinery. And Technique might just be able to win this through sheer attrition. There's actually rifleman squads here. They're digging foxholes, so they're preventing him from really getting... And this Juggernaut is firing as well at the tech lab, although the Redeemer Engineering Facility is not here. Technique doesn't actually have any forces left. He's got nothing left to actually destroy this Marv, and that is going to be the end of the game. So didn't go for quite as long as I thought it would there, but it definitely got really dicey at the end of that game. But bike-RUsh will take a 1-0 lead on a map that Technique just... what can I say about Technique? He just kind of sat around, and he had all these fast attack units, and he just didn't go and attack bike-RUsh. So, I mean, it's his own fault that he lost that game there. It's a really heavily nod-favoured map. But 17 minutes, 45 seconds. bike-RUsh will take a nice victory here. We'll head into game number 2 that's coming up right now. Okay, guys, welcome back to game number 2 in the series. bike-RUsh does hold a 1-0 lead. And look at this. Technique has, of course, decided to choose the other map he's made, Tournament Bike Buggy. So on the left-hand side, he'll be playing as probably Nod again. Yeah, he's going to be Nod Vanilla, so it's going to be the same faction and colour as last time. The map name, of course, is Tournament Odyssey. I was just being funny. Reaper 17. Reaper Reaper 17 for bike-RUsh+ownz here. So he's actually selected random, by the way, so in this matchup here. So Technique has, I believe, chosen this faction here. I'm not 100% sure who actually uploaded the replays, but nonetheless, I got all the replays because they were in a thread. bike-RUsh going to go straight for 3 buzz. He may be able to overwhelm these militant squads. Technique is going to split them up, so 3 buzzers will easily be able to overwhelm just a singular squad. But if there's 2 together, good focus firing. And if they are split apart, we'll save the day. There's 2 buzzers coming in. Will Technique see them? bike-RUsh is not going to engage. He's going to go down to this south side here. Of course, there's 2 safe spikes, very easily capturable right here and here. And of course, somewhat easy to defend until later on in the game. So he will cut off 1 buzzer. Another buzzer will come in. Will it be able to see the War Factory in time? Yes. Yes, it will. bike-RUsh can see the War... Oh, he can see the... No, he can't. He can see the drones. He can see the drones, but this is a problem because he can't see what's coming out of the War Factory. Or he could actually see the stealth bubble there, so if he was paying attention, he would have known that was a harvester, but that doesn't tell him anything because, of course, Technique... will build a harvester first anyway, but did he place that ref in range? He actually placed the refinery there, so he's actually, bike-RUsh knows there's no flame rush coming now because he's packing up, so Technique probably thought he'd been scouted, obviously hadn't quite been, if he put the ref over here and didn't move his MCV for a few moments, it would have been tricky, but yeah, bike-RUsh comes in with another scout. This raider buggy must have missed it, and he will be able to destroy that now. So that's going to be the end of that raider, so not that raider buggy, the buzzer squad. And if we have a look up here, we've got the militant squad here. They're just going to be causing a little bit of damage. But bike-RUsh, I mean, he's Reaper, so he can build, like, he can eco like there's no tomorrow, and I'm expecting him to probably eco like there's no tomorrow. Maybe, I'm not really sure what he's going to do in this situation here. It's kind of not too bad a map for Reaper because, you know, there's no real threat of artillery in this game here. I mean, it's so ridiculously hard to base push in this map. Like, look how far your MCV has to go. It will just get harassed every step of the way, and so base pushing and artillery is... It's just so not, it's almost useless on this level, and that's for most factions as well. I'm sure there are some situations where it can come in handy. It's not like 100% useless, but in general, people don't tend to build a lot of artillery on a map like this. It's going to come down to a lot of tanks, aircraft, of course, because they're very fast. Even though there's not a lot of terrain for them to fly across and escape from ground units or AA, there's only these plateaus over here which aren't too critical. But yeah, aircraft are so fast, they can get around very quickly. And with 3 bases to defend, which are really spaced quite far apart, you got to remember that each base is spaced incredibly far apart. So again, going to favour the nod factions here. As a screen faction, you need either a lot of Seeker tanks with full upgrades, or you need Mechapeds or stuff like that to get around to be able to defend. But of course, tripods, spamming tripods, also very good because, you know, there's a lot of room for them to maneuver, and they don't have to worry about terrain or going through a choke. They can move around quite easily. A few Disintegrator squads coming up here. bike-RUsh did secure the tower as well. Technique, not actually aware of that, he's going to drive straight into this tower. He's actually going to lose a few bikes here. He's not even aware he's being attacked. 2 bikes straight away, and he is going to back off. He loses the 3rd bike there, so unfortunately, a lot of people don't realize it as well when you grab this tower, and people do tend to drive up here quite often to attack this field, or they drive across here and go down there. There's another back path there, but it's a little bit too far. People want to get into the field relatively quickly. These Disintegrator squads from bike-RUsh obviously sent across to destroy the spikes, but Technique, he'll be able to clean those up, no worries. So they're going to be destroyed. He will save his spikes. Very important, obviously, to keep a hold of his spikes. I find maps or games on this level don't go as long as what you see on Galaxy, because Galaxy is just nightmare mode. This one here is still pretty tough as well, but you can get reasonably lengthy games. But in general, it does usually resolve itself towards the end of the 3rd field, or either when you get into the 3rd field or when the 3rd field is drying up. Someone will usually get the upper hand and take the win. Scorpion Tank's coming out now for Technique, so would expect a tier 2 is already done. Dozer Blades is already on the way. Decoy Army comes down. Did he decoy those bikes? I'm not sure. No, I think these are the decoys, and I think it's just to lure bike-RUsh out of position. Yeah, they are the decoys, so it's just a little bike-RUsh out, and he does scout the tech center, which is done, by the way. Now he's researching an upgrade. I would not be surprised if it's shard launches. Just go back. No, he's getting forceful generators, so he's obviously planning on getting these, look, invisible refineries, something you don't see every day. So obviously there's a few glitches when you go in observer mode, like on them sometimes, if it rights itself eventually, but not a big deal. bike-RUsh will be scouting out Technique, seeing what he's doing. He's going to realize his laser buggy's coming, laser capacitor's coming. He's going to try to take these spikes out again. Those guys there getting destroyed. This force here will probably be overrun. He's just going to try to suicide for the spike if he can get it. I don't think he's going to be able to get it though. No, these Raider buggies are here. They're actually destroying the disintegrator squads relatively quickly. He gets quite close, but there, the repair tool had saved that, because that repair tool was down there for quite some time. bike-RUsh losing a few forces here. Does have the tripods upgraded. No conversion reserves. What are you doing, Bark? Conversion reserves, very, very cheap. $1,000, 30 seconds. It's basically like advanced articulators. If you're building tripods, you want conversion reserves. It makes them, it allows them to shoot so much more great. It's like, I don't know exactly how much. I think it's either 50 or 100% more. It's either, I think it's close to double, to be honest, the amount that they can hold. Someone will probably correct me in the comments. I really should know that, and I probably have at some stage. I've just forgotten it, but it's upgrade you didn't see in the official 1.2 because it was actually bugged. So, but CGF of course fixed it, which means this conversion reserve upgrade. He's only charged one of his tripods up, unfortunately. bike-RUsh not on top of his tripod charge, which you really want them to be charged, because that's what makes them so killer above all the other the tripods. They just absolutely slaughter Vanilla, Scrin, and Traveller. You got to be careful with Travel though, because they'll try to snatch them up. But with the Shard Walker buff against cultists, you can usually spam Shard Walkers at the start of the game and then go into tripods, and it still works okay. A few photon cannons here. They will probably be destroyed here. This one Reaper tripod is going to try to get back behind the War Factory. He just sold his tier 2. That's interesting, and he does use a phase there. He will save that one. We had a Catalyst missile come down there. It actually takes out the expansion. More tripods are responding, and we have some forces here. A few straggling Scorpion tanks, which Technique was rallying up here, actually got cut off, and they're going to be destroyed, so no reinforcements. They're going to have to fall back. Disintegrator squads now getting in range. Laser capacitors is causing sporadic damage, but the tripods are not dying. They have a lot of armor on them, and he will force them back. Doesn't lose any spikes either. Did he lose? He ultimately lost that spike there, so bike-RUsh has actually gone back and destroyed that. Technique now falling back. There's another tank before that disintegrator squad goes down. That tripod's a bit far out, and he's realized it now. There's really no way he can say that. He's already used his phase. Technique's going to chase it. He's shooting at the rear armor, and he kind of needs to give them a move order. And this tripod's actually going to be able to escape back to... Oh, the disintegrator squad does a little bit of a block. But yeah, he actually gets away. No charge on these tripods, which is really unfortunate, because Scorpion tanks will get absolutely blown to frickin' pieces by charged Reaper tripods. Even more so than railguns. The charged Reaper tripods are absolutely decimated. 3 tripods over here just to defend. Does put down his second ref now. Oh, he's right on the edge of that ramp as well. bike-RUsh looking to get himself up and established, probably going for his tier 1.5 as well, which he is. That's why he's put the portal down there, because he's actually already got a portal over here as well. Just needs to cycle through some of his units. He's going for Mechapedes as well. He's getting a bit of everything, isn't he? Still not pursuing any further upgrades, so he actually only holds a singular upgrade, which is just the force field generators, and that's the only upgrade he has on any of his units. So just keeping it low tech here for the time being, and he's going for Mechapedes over the tripods. But with laser capacitors out, these laser capacitor Scorpion tanks will be able to kill Mechapedes relatively quickly if they just get one shot on the head. A couple of lasers will destroy that quite promptly. But bike-RUsh, of course, one of the best players of all time. You definitely really can't critique him too much, even though you're kind of wondering what his overall strategy is right now. He's just kind of just chilling, sells off one of his warp spheres over there. Maybe he's going to pop another one down. I think he's just going to spam out a bunch of disintegrators and do some type of attack. He's kind of moving from the west to the east, just back and forth like this. Still not charging any of these tripods. All these tripods just simply not charged. Not getting repairs either. This one here now starting to move in range of the warp sphere. What has Technique been doing on the other side of the map? So he has established his third base here. It's actually a battle over here. No, not gonna move in there. And he is going for infantry with avatars. This could be quite good actually if he can jump this one. He's got one upgrade just completed, so there must be a shrine. It's over here. Has all of his tech. Whoa, shit. He's got his tier 1.5, his tier 2, his tier 3, and his tier 4 all there. He wouldn't want the Reaper player to rock up there and destroy that. That base is going to be critically important. He can't afford to let that one be overrun. But bike-RUsh is actually going to attack over here. The infantry are not on this side of the map, and he's having to power down his obelisk because he's low on power, and this obelisk is not firing. Oh my god. Technique not doing a very good job of the defense here. bike-RUsh is now up on the ramp, and he uses the stasis right now. Oh man, most of the army is cut in half. There's infantry forces on the left-hand side. Buzzer Swarm comes in. These avatars not able to target these guys down fast enough. Incinerator squads are destroying everything on the right-hand flank. And bike-RUsh is moving in. Technique might just be dead here. He could be dead. bike-RUsh falls back, just waiting for the status to deplete. Actually got the MCV, which means no towers can drop. And he is actually falling back here. Is there something I don't know about on the map? No, we've got the radar back now. Nothing that we can't... nothing happening on the other side of the map. He actually falls back 4. He's got 8 tripods. That's really unusual. I thought he would have just moved in. There's actually quite a lot of avatars and infantry here, so maybe he saw them coming. I don't know. He must have seen them moving across the side of the map and decided to retreat. He's essentially got no shard walkers left, which he's now trying to desperately rebuild. Blue shard on the way, no doubt. I reckon that's going to be blue shard. He'll want to pull back. He called in Ichor Seed, I think, to charge his tripods up, but he can't actually stay here. Technique is now on the offensive, and there's a few forces over here. There's a photon cannon, some shard walkers, disintegrators. They're just outside range, though. That's unfortunate. There is going to be engagement over here, so Technique is now on the attack. Blue shards is not done, and this force is actually quite powerful from Technique. The infantry combined with the avatars, he needs to focus down the tripods though, and a lot of these shard walkers now being destroyed. No phase came off, but I think bike-RUsh might be okay. He's already building a simulator, he's expecting these guys to fall. But Technique, wow, I thought he would have done a lot better there. He didn't focus down any of the tripods. He only got 1 tripod kill. Technique did not do a good job of that, I don't think, at all. He might just want to try to destroy the husks over anything else. Big sell-off there as well from bike-RUsh. Does get that husk. There's a few husks there, and he will clean them up now. He will be destroying those, and at least preventing bike-RUsh from reclaiming them. His army is somewhat ragtag. Oh, there's actually a force over here. Oh my god, I didn't see this. bike-RUsh is pushed out of his third base, so look at this. Technique is striking over here. Maybe that's why his micro wasn't that fantastic over here. Does actually have that tower. Blue shard is done from bike-RUsh. He's got no force field generators though, and I'm not sure what he's going to do. I think this game might be closing out now. I don't think bike-RUsh... oh, actually, no, he might be looking to push through. The Redeemer is going to come out. He's just going to bum rush his units right into this. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. The infantry are doing a lot of damage. Blue shard also tearing down most of these units here. He needs to try to get an EMP blast off. He will get an EMP blast off on the Redeemer engineer. So a stealth tower comes down. It's too late. It's too late. The stealth tower just a little bit too late here. And Technique's force is now falling. He can't hold this area. He's going to lose the tier 3, and that would have been a big cancel. A lot of money being refunded to Technique, but his MCV is going to fall. Does he have a war factory? He does not have a war factory. Oh my god, if he loses, he's in big trouble. But meanwhile, his force over here is not on an attack move of any time. It's just kind of sitting around. This could be a base trade situation. He's going to reclaim some of these husks with his engineers as well. Oh my god, this is tight. He's got an elite tripod. There is an elite tripod there. He's now falling back. He can't really kill the harvesters. There's no Seeker tanks here or anything like that. But Technique is now realizing he needs to destroy this. I'm not sure if the drone ship did escape. Did the drone platform actually escape? Oh, I don't think it. I think it may have been either sold or destroyed. bike-RUsh is pushed into the top right corner. It's actually a few husks down here. Those are critically important, by the way. He's actually left a single tripod to go down here, but unfortunately that will probably be destroyed unless the Shadow Walkers get there in time, because there's a few infantry squads there, and he can't self-repair that tripod. But these forces here will come in. He needs to destroy the damaged one there. Bike Buggy is trying to engage over here. There's a lot of disintegrator squads. bike-RUsh, oh my god, I don't know, he can construct things. He only has 1 power plant. He doesn't have enough to actually power what he's got here. He might have to sell some units off here. And Technique has got enough to defend. This is a problem. He didn't get his shield, his attenuated force fields, which means while he can build blue shard walkers, which is great, he doesn't have the attenuated force fields, which is a bit of a problem for him. And now both sides have lost their build. Technique has access to tier 1.5, and he also has access to tier 2, which means he can build a vast majority of his infantry units, essentially everything except for the commando. What he could do is that he could call in shadow teams. He could call in shadow teams, destroy the power plant, which will cripple bike-RUsh's ability to produce units. Or he could even just try to, oh geez, my mouse, even try to overrun the structure over here. bike-RUsh does have quite a large force. This is the problem though, because he has no drone ship, he can't move he's got to defend this base. And look at this, he's going to come in and he's going to snipe that power plant down. He knows that's the most important structure here right now. There are still, oh, actually these harvesters being destroyed. He does have a lot of harvesters, bike-RUsh does. He's going to lose one of his refs. The tier 4 tip chem plant is gone, so he can't actually click the other one. And he's going to be forced back. Look at all the ranks on these units. Oh my god, there's a lot of veteran. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's about 8, 9, about 10, 11 veteran units, and an elite unit there as well. So those guys have definitely been raking it in, and I don't think bike-RUsh He's down to 3 buildings, and Technique is man spamming right now. Oh, unfortunately, I was going to say, this is a silly spot, but he's actually got the tower, so it's not that silly, because I thought he was just going to get trapped up against this cliff, and bike-RUsh could easily overrun that big chunk of infantry, which Technique kind of needs. He's got infantry down here. I think they're both out of money. bike-RUsh is now long-range mining. Technique is long-range mining as well, somewhat. He does actually have this over here. Only 1 spike each. Looks like both sides lost a spike as well, so bike-RUsh also feeling the pain. He's got 2 tripods. I believe he's got an elite one. He still has the elite one. He can't build corruptors, but he can pull them back to the warp sphere for repairs. Now, bike-RUsh has no access to support power, so he can't use the construction drones because he has no power. So he can't actually do anything with that. Again, Technique could just build 6 shadow teams and go and destroy the warp sphere. I think it's 6 you need to destroy a warp sphere. Not 100% sure. He's actually dicking around up here getting his forces destroyed, and unfortunately that drives straight through the buzzers, and see you later, Harvester. Just keep in mind, Technique can't rebuild these Harvesters, and he's lost quite a lot. There's only 2 Harvesters from what I can see. There's a third one over here. Is there any more? No, he's just got 3 Harvesters, so he's actually hemorrhaged quite a few Harvesters in the last minute or so, and I think he's got to sit back and realize, hang on a second, I can't actually really afford to lose those Harvesters, especially since bike-RUsh, his only stealth detection was buzzers and disintegrators, and he's still losing Harvesters. Oh no, Technique is caught in a pincer move here. He's going to get hit from the right-hand side as well. Can he destroy everything that's here? He needs to kill these buzzer swarms. bike-RUsh is pretty well known for just spamming buzzers, and the spam buzzers actually draws enough fire for him to overrun this force. And he will overrun this force. Those shard walkers so critically low. But still, Technique could, he's even got this flame unit here. He could send the flame unit around if he can get it around and maybe in and destroy a structure of any type. If he can destroy the portal, I mean, the portal has paper armor on it. He just needs to basically look at it and it will collapse. But he's got a few forces over here trying to get them to heroic. I think these Harvesters will manage to escape. These forces here now falling back. Technique has quite a lot of infantry there. He has 2 racks at his disposal, which is allowing him to just pump out these. Actually building militant squads now. He does have quite a large force, but is it large enough to overrun what bike-RUsh has? bike-RUsh is falling back to his base, and he's going to recall all of his units now, realizing that Technique might be looking to do a push. He could even capture the EMP control center if he wants to. I'm not sure if he's realized that. That would be devastating for bike-RUsh. Imagine if all of his shard walkers got hit with an EMP blast at the outset of an attack. That would be quite devastating for him. bike-RUsh having to actually train buzzers now. I think he's trying to get a buzzer spam back up again. He's long-range mining, but he has a lot of Harvesters queuing up at the refinery here. And you know what? I think if it was me, I probably would just try to spam as many shuttle walkers as possible. Not even getting these ones repaired is a bit of an issue again. He should easily move them over here because there's a lot of red health ones that he could be trying to repair. Technique just trying to poke in as well. Technique having a little bit of a trouble trying to finish off bike-RUsh here. Trying to prevent him from long-range mining as well. There's only one Tib core bike here, which is the bulk of the damage of this force. And bike-RUsh is going to move these ones along. He's actually going to target the other one, realizing that's more heavily damaged. And he can probably easily kill that. bike-RUsh, of course, has a warp sphere, so you can reconstruct Harvesters. But as we all are well aware, Skrin do not produce an MCV from the warp sphere. He needs a gravity stabilizer for that, and he does not have one. He has not built one all game. Oh, Technique, what are you doing? Get out of the way. Oh my god, he lost more, he backed into it and lost more tanks. That tank there has nothing in its health bar. That is ridiculous. It's literally got nothing in its health bar. You can't see any color at all, so it must be literally on 1 HP. Oh my god, there's a lot of buzzers here. He has spammed out a lot of buzzers. Technique is in the middle now. He's got a lot of militants back here, but they're not up here. These are all rocket squads. Most of these are rocket squads. Oh my god, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to overrun these. The buzzers now, he's starting to shoot them down. I don't think, no, the buzzers, they're not doing enough damage. They are not doing enough damage. The Cabals on the squads there managing to do quite a lot of damage, and bike-RUsh also losing quite a number of shard walkers there. So that time, normally those fights go heavily in favor of bike-RUsh, but this time the buzzers just did not seem to work. Elite Buggy will be destroyed. That is something you just have to worry about getting to heroic now. Where is his forces? Oh my god, Technique is not paying attention, and that will be the end of the Scorpion tank force. He's still holding onto that Elite Reaper tripod. This is a problem. This is a problem. These tripods, whoa, he's not even going to charge them up. What's he doing? Maybe he was worried about the Catalyst missile. Of course, doesn't have to worry about that anymore. I don't think it actually does any damage to the tripods though. I'm not 100% sure, but nonetheless, we'll actually snipe one of those Seeker tanks. Oh, gets another one. Oh, not quite, not quite. So bike-RUsh now constructing Seeker tanks, of course, paying for not getting any upgrades earlier on. He really needs them now. Attenuated force fields would be a lifesaver right now, but it does not have it at his disposal. These Reaper tripods, some of them are charged, or most of them are actually charged now, except for one. He's going to move around here. There's so much Tiberium left on the map, and neither side can really refine that. Technique has harvesters cleaning up spike Tiberium right now, so this is actually really unusual because both sides now, it's a really long rush distance, really long attack distance, and they just don't have builds, which means they can't really do much. They can really only do what they're doing right now, and that is to spam infantry for technique, and for bike-RUsh to just spam either buzzers or shard walkers. Seeker tanks really don't have too much of a purpose aside from trying to hunt down the last of his units, but there will be a fight here, and I don't think technique is going to have enough to overrun this force here. I think he's going to go for the crush move. He is trying to focus down the tripods, but if he loses the portals, that is going to be it. And I think he is going to lose the portals. The shard walkers at the back are doing too much damage, and he loses both the portals, so that's going to be it. That elite tripod will probably be destroyed here momentarily. It will be destroyed, but it doesn't really matter because these blue shard walkers should be able to clean up for bike-RUsh+ownz, and technique can no longer build any more units. These infantry are actually making quite a large stand. The militant squads will draw a lot of fire because they essentially have 10 members in the squad with the Cabal in there as well, which is quite a lot. So he will ultimately be able to overrun this position. But if he still had a portal, he could take these husks and then it would be GG. But unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. bike-RUsh now will be able to simply overrun technique. Technique has no production structures. He can call in shadow teams. He's got a bike here. So unless this bike goes heroic and destroys the entire base, I'm not sure where that harvest is going. Maybe he's trying to use the harvester to crush. He's just sending everything he has at bike-RUsh. Whoa, actually no, bike-RUsh doesn't have any real units left. What's he doing? What is he building? I'm not sure what he's building. He's definitely pulling in, yeah, he's pulling in Tiberium. He's got money, he's producing, but he's really making a tough time of it. Yeah, more blue shard walkers come up from behind on this force here. It will be destroying these infantry squads, and here we go. He finally calls in the shadow teams way too late. I'm not sure what... Alright, he's shooting at his own harvester right now. That doesn't actually get your veterancy technique. It doesn't get your veterancy by destroying your own units. So I'm not sure what his goal is here. Obviously that's an error. He's actually shooting at his own harvesters. He destroyed one and now he's force firing the other. That doesn't... oh, he actually kills the portal. There he goes. The portal is down. But he can simply build a Seeker tank and this place will be safe. There's a Seeker tank, so there we go. Again, he's shooting at his own harvesters. It doesn't give you veterancy. You can't, like, destroying your own units. It doesn't work like that, and Technic should know that as well. It's just dumb. He could bomb the defensive tower. That will give him veterancy. But these units here now will be going down. I'm not sure what he's going to do. I mean, maybe if he waits long enough, he can call in another set of shadow teams. That's probably going to be a long way away. Oh, it's actually halfway cooled down already, so there you go. But yeah, it's probably something Technic should have done sooner. He's got this one bike, but I don't see this one bike really doing a lot. He will bomb the war factory, but he loses some of the squad members, and now he just turns around, tries to kill. There's all blue shards, just tearing them, and that's going to be the end of it. Those squads are dead. Only one squad remaining. bike-RUsh really can't lose from here. These two shard walkers are going to find the last buildings there. There we go, big sell-off, and that's going to be the end of that game. So that one really slowed down towards the end. I think the bike just got destroyed as well, so the bike is down, and that's going to be the end of the game. So thank God that one ended. Oh my God, a bit of a slugfest at the end there, but it's a bit of a silly game, but nonetheless, bike-RUsh will win that fight there, so he'll go up 2-0. This is the best of 7. Technique needs to stop this momentum straight away. If he goes down 0-3, or if he gets to 0-3, that's just going to be nightmare mode for him, so he wants to avoid that at all costs. He needs to win the next one to get himself back in the series. Stay tuned, game 3 coming up. Okay guys, welcome back to game number 3 between bike-RUsh+ownz and Technical. And we're on Tournament Arena this time. Obviously, Technic will be playing on the top left-hand side. He ought to pick this map as well because obviously he lost the last one. He's down 2-0. If he loses this one here and he's at 0-3, then I really can't see him winning the series. If Technic wants a chance of winning the series, he kind of needs to stop the momentum now. If he goes down 0-3, he'll be forced into a reverse sweep situation, which is someplace you never want to be in. And we can see his black hand. bike-RUsh+ownz also black hand. We have a black hand mirror on Torment Arena. So actually unescorted engineer, there you go. Not even going to bother to take the tower. bike-RUsh going to go as light as possible on scouts. He has 2 scouts down the center now. These are obviously drafted because they're missing some members. So that's what it's like in R12, of course, because getting full squads was just seen as ridiculous, and it's something that we had to deal with for a long time. A lot of people were on the fence about changing it because it's been something that had been around for since the game basically launched, just about. And so to change something as critical as that, actually it seems to have slotted itself in quite nicely ever since they brought that out. Of course, that's been out for ages now, like at least 6 months or so. So actually, no, almost a year, I think. It's been forever. I think since the Inca Open they changed it. So, but nonetheless, he will be losing both those squads, and he will prevent bike-RUsh from seeing into his base. bike-RUsh cannot see the War Factory, so he does not know what's coming. Meanwhile, Technique does cop a look at the there. We'll see through the eyes. Is he going to check it? Is he going to check what's there? He checks. He sees the flame tank. Okay, so there we go. He knows there's a flame tank, and the Raider Buggy is going to confirm that as well. Raider Buggy, you don't want to lose that to a flame tank. That's not necessary. Oh, Technique, Nicole. Oh my God. Oh, that's just... And you're sitting there thinking, oh, it's just a Raider Buggy. Yeah, that's so important at this stage of the game to have that scout there. That's almost impossible to kill half the time, and it's a 2 War Factory all in. Technique knows it. He hasn't gone all in himself. He's putting down a portal. Oh, sorry, a Hand of Nod. He will be just spamming out, probably by the looks of it, infantry units. bike-RUsh not moving the engineer. If he stops the flame tank, stopping the flame tank is the first important point of this game. He needs to stop that. And then just not lose any harvesters, and he'll be fine. He's seen it well enough in advance that he can stop this. bike-RUsh actually turning around. Okay, he's actually going to turn around. I'm not sure what he's doing. He really can't afford to stall for too long, especially since Technique knows about this. The longer you stall when the other player knows about it, the harder it can be. But bike-RUsh, of course, being bike-RUsh, can make anything happen, and Technique's probably well aware of that. Actually falls all the way back to base, even with the flame tank. Technique knows it's an all-in. I think he's trying to get Technique to build more harvesters, or maybe to commit to more economy here. bike-RUsh does build a 3rd harvester. Not going to his blue tip field, still building bike buggy. He's trying to get enough of this up. And he is going to try to go take Technique Spike as well. The Shredder turret will be able to deal with the Black Hand squad, perhaps. That Black Hand squad being just really annoying. He needs to sell that. Oh, sell it. Oh, he sells it right at the last second, and he will kill that. Wow, that couldn't have got any better for Technique right there. He got that right in the nick of time. If you don't sell the structure, if it is actually destroyed, then infantry will not come out of it. So that's something that's really important. That's what I do with watchtowers, and I've said this a million times before. As your watchtowers are getting overrun, you sell them just as they're about to die, and then it allows you to get a rifleman squad with full health. It looks like bike-RUsh is going to engage here. He's going to try to destroy as much as he can. MCV is sold. He does have a Shredder turret there, but the flame tank is moving in. Technique focuses that he should be able to destroy this. He has so low health now. He will destroy that. Well done. Good cleanup. He's now 2 War Factory all in himself. He needs to clean up the bikes here, and he will clean up. Oh man, bike-RUsh, he held off too long. He simply held off too long. And bike-RUsh has been destroyed there. 7 bikes remaining on the field, and bike-RUsh throws it. He has thrown it. He didn't really you're expecting bike-RUsh to do something like ridiculous there and just win anyway, but he didn't win. I think Technique just held his cool in that game and knew what he needed to do. And when bike-RUsh went in, the flame tank was too far behind. The flame tank should have been to the left or the right, somewhere where it could have done damage or pull Technique away. But unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. So it looks like Technique will win this game here. So that gives him puts him at 2-1, or sorry, 1-2, but we'll jump into game number 4 coming up right now. Okay guys, welcome back to game number 4. So Technique has managed to stem the flow, albeit just, and the score is now 2-1 in favour of bike-RUsh. So he's looking to bring the series back. He needs to level the series. If he can win this game, he'll level it. And that will be obviously very good for Technique. Vanilla nod here for bike-RUsh+ownz. So he's going to be up against Technique Nicole on 6 City, which is one of the maps I actually seem to like a bit more now, even though it's a bit more generic in the center. It's kind of grown on me a little bit, this map here. So he's going to be Zocom. Wow. So I know that a lot of these games, or some of these games, were done as random mirrors. So I honestly don't think Technique would have actually selected this as his faction He's just decided to go on a random, and he will be able to take this structure. Can he actually kill this squad? The squad is running for the structure. Now they will get in, but they lose a few members on the way out, which means their DPS will be a lot lower than they normally are, even though they won't beat the Rifleman squad anyway. I think both these structures, actually the one on the right has actually less health, doesn't it? Not 100% sure how the health bars work there, or if it's got a bigger one it's just got more health, or whether it's just more condensed, or if it's not to scale. But nonetheless, Technique will be going for just an eco build here, as I mentioned. Zocom, again, it's pretty much one of the only factions in the game where you don't really have any significant rush option. The airfield isn't really there for Zocom because, you know, they build Zorkas instead of Orcas, and it's too easy to dodge Zorkas. Zorkas are really expensive, they can move their harvesters out of the way, it just doesn't work. So you can do Bloodhound rushes and sometimes Inf rush, and I guess you can just rush with pit bulls, but yeah, none of that's really super popular. Nonetheless, bike-RUsh+ownz does have, he actually is missing a harvester. Do we have some bikes out? Yes, we do have some bikes out now. These are rocket harvesters, so they will be able to defend themselves to an extent, but Technique will pull that one off the line. Puts down a turret, no, I don't know about that. Probably wouldn't worried about that. But getting his harvesters back to work. 2 pit bulls, and now he will be going back to ecoing. I think he's just going to expand behind this. bike-RUsh already moved to his expansion. 3rd harvester is now out, so his economy is now equal with Technique, although Technique is about to have a 4th harvester out. Those bikes now just causing problems. They will de-garrison some of these structures here, which is a bit of a pain for him, because now he's going to clean this area. Look at that. Oh, dat range. Dat range. He will be able to prevent any eyes from coming. Actually, Technique has a scout over here, so you can see exactly what's going on. He's probably going to run through the base. Unfortunately, going to move in range of this structure. And there is a shredder turret there as well. For some reason, those guys not wanting to shoot in that direction, but he will lose that scout nonetheless. One more scouting squad there. Oh, is Technique doing a 2 war factory all in a Zocom? He doesn't even have 5 harvesters. He's not actually going to build 5 harvesters. He's just going to go 4 harvesters. And is bike-RUsh aware of this? That's what I want to know. bike-RUsh is not aware. He's not aware of this at all, so he doesn't know what's going on. Is he going to get caught off guard by it? Because this is really unusual. There's a 2 war factory here from bike-RUsh as well. He's building Scorpion tanks, and he's got 4 harvesters. No, he's got 5 harvesters, sorry. Nothing at the blue tip field. And Technique's going to move forward with quite a number of tanks. The bikes are around here. Now these bikes are drawing back tanks. I just leave the pit bulls here and I just send all the tanks at his base. bike-RUsh is caught onto this now. He knows what's going on. I don't think this is going to work at all. Technique just messed around for a little bit too long. He's got some ABCs coming now as well. I'm not sure what happened to the few pit bulls that he had. He's going to try to run these guys over. Actually, bike-RUsh doesn't actually have any infantry forces here at the moment. He might have been going for a refinery and just cancelled. The pit bulls are actually over here, and these forces now move through. He's doing a good job of crushing these units. He needs to finish that tank off as well and just destroy the units which are already heavily damaged. He's splitting his fire over there. He kills a few. This structure's being a bit of a pain as well, and he will fall back. He will fall back towards his base, but really he can't really afford to be falling back. He actually started spamming APCs, and the thing is that bike-RUsh doesn't really have a lot of rocket squads. He doesn't really have that many. That one Predator tank should be able to get a kill. It will be going down to that Scorpion tank though, unfortunately. bike-RUsh actually ceased producing infantry and is still going for double war factory Scorpions, which the ABCs are really not going to be able to do a lot about. There's only 4 tanks over here, and I think Technique, yeah, he didn't do a very good job of that. He needed a 5th harvester at least to support this, because you can see he's not even building out of one of his war factories. He just sells it off straight away. Maybe he's going for an MCV. This could be an MCV. He could be trying to recover, but if he does try to recover, bike-RUsh is significantly ahead in the economy department, and he will be pumping out an MCV, so he's going to try to recover now. He needs to keep bike-RUsh at bay, but can he do that? I think bike-RUsh still has a few bikes remaining. He did pull them back to defend. Pitbull's now just moving around trying to find... Oh, bike-RUsh is going for blue tib over here, and he will find it. Reinforcements are a long way away. I'm not sure if he can actually save that. The Scorpion tanks are in the wrong direction. A few forces moving back over here now. APCs with no AP ammo really don't have any much, or don't stand much of a chance versus Scorpions, and he will be starting to destroy this harvester. I think he's just going to suicide for it. He didn't even get much blue tip. Even if bike-RUsh can save that, all he needs one more shot. He should be able to get it. There we go. I think he's going to lose all his pit bulls though. That pit bull needs to get outside range. Oh no, there's a structure there with rockets in it. See you later. Technique does actually hold one of bike-RUsh's spikes. So he holds 3 spikes, so it's not all over just yet. He's already got a harvester waiting there full of Tiberium. 1, 2, 3 harvesters on his Did he pull that harvester from his expansion? No, he's actually pulled one to the blue tib field. You got to be careful. These bridges, of course, are destructible. You can destroy them. But he's choosing not to destroy them just yet. He will actually be destroying the spike. So it's very easy for bike-RUsh to recapture that. Yeah, he's decided, hey, a second, I got a base just here. I can simply just go recapture that. Sells one of his war factions. Maybe he's going for dual man spam. No, he's got both his refs over here. He's expanding. This is going to go into an eco game. So Technique did survive. He's got double ref down now. He's actually not looking too bad. He's even got, I mean, he's still got this force here, which he hasn't gifted away. And it's just Scorpion tanks now. Technique can block the center of the map because you've only got to block it from the edge of this range here to the edge of this range here, so you can have armor forces in the middle. Most of the buildings, as we can see, have already been destroyed, so bike-RUsh can't use that for infantry. Technique could use it for infantry over here if he wants to, but he's going to send a few units around to the back side of this base head here, but it's going to get pretty intense now. But yeah, bike-RUsh now making another move for the blue tib field. Already harvested there and a second one going as well, and he's just going to leave those ones there. No more pit bulls coming down, and this could be a double orca. No, it's going to be double hammerhead. Double hammerhead coming out here from Technique. Is getting blue tib. We know he's getting blue tib. A bike is destroyed on the bridge there. 3 predator tanks. They could come up and just start being really annoying over here. bike-RUsh trying to push his way in over there. Not going to happen. Is going to fall back now. He has his tier 3. He's not going for dozer blades though, which means he's probably not going to continue to produce these. And look at this, Technique does destroy the bridge. And as a GDI faction, I tend to agree with that. These bridges definitely favour Nod more than they do GDI. Few bikes coming around this side. They're going to hit the backside of Technique's base, but does Technique have anything there? No, he does not. There are rocket harvesters which can somewhat defend themselves. Like I mentioned earlier, you might want to start transitioning the harvesters, sell the ref off, recycle his economy. Technique is going to lose that spike. bike-RUsh didn't actually reclaim that spike, by the way, so Technique's held 3 spike for quite some time. He may very well lose a harvester here. There's a few pit bulls responding, but they will snare a harvester. Click comes down as well. See you later. Technique's in a lot of trouble. He has no real tech. He's got hammerheads. And he's got both the upgrades for them, but he needs another ref down right now. I'm not sure what this is building. He could be building a ref. There is engagement over here. There's actually hammerheads already over here. Vapor Bomb comes in, and that really doesn't do too much. It kind of just misses almost altogether. There's actually no double A here. He might just want to focus down the turrets here. I think he could. He's moving into this base here. bike-RUsh spent a lot on tech. He spent a lot on actually teching. And you know what? He doesn't actually have enough units here to prevent these predator tanks from moving into space. There's stealth tanks here. Stealth tanks are starting to fire at the hammerheads. He needs to destroy those. The predator tank's actually going to do it for him. Laser capacitors is done. I thought that was going to be tib core for sure, but no, it's laser capacitors. Wow, this game getting really messy now. He's actually lost a refinery. The hammerheads will leave this the combat zone, but the predator tanks keep firing. Or keep fighting, sorry. They could just destroy the stealth tanks. They're going to be a big problem for the hammerheads, but the predator tanks will now be cleaned up. Some harvesters were destroyed, but there's only 1 refinery here. Technique did recover a refinery, and he does have quite a number of hammerheads remaining over here. I'm not sure what his plan is with those. bike-RUsh has cleaned up the blue tib field. Technique is still leeching from that blue tib field as well, actually collecting from there and there. These harvesters are very valuable. This one he needs to be transitioned to the expansion. Oh, these stealth tanks come in, and there's, oh my god, he's got so many hammerheads. He has a lot of hammerheads. He's actually trying to spam stealth tanks. He needs tib core rockets, but he didn't. He actually got laser capacitors. I don't know about that. Maybe he could go laser venoms. I'm not 100% sure. He had to put a ref down first, so, or maybe he could go laser buggies. That might be the way to go. Still producing stealth tanks, but without the tib core starts now. But really, he should have got tib core first, especially since he didn't get dozer blades. It just didn't look like he was really committed to the scorpion push and got laser capacitors first. So bike-RUsh, here we go. He's going to go for laser venom, so that's going to be a problem. But of course, Technique now is actually just building a lot of pit bulls. So obviously the venoms will die incredibly quickly to pit bulls. And sometimes you just get out slingshots as well, because venoms really can't do anything about slingshots. But they're more of a hard counter. You don't really need slingshots against venoms unless they're really spamming them. And then Tungsten Shell just demolishes that type of composition. He's actually going to move in over here. There's no tier 4 anymore, so he can just move in without the fear of a what do you call it, a vein. He's actually going to snipe down that damage harvester, and then he's going to leave. He's allowing time for tib core rockets to be... No, he's actually cancelled Tiberium core rockets, and he's against Zocom. Oh, he actually lost a harvester there to the stealth tanks, but he will be losing the stealth tanks. Oh, he scans. I was going to say, if the stealth tank is in heavy damage mode, you can't actually re-stealth, but he's actually just going to commit. A lot of hammerheads were actually destroyed then. Oh, bike-RUsh is going to be careful. Those venoms will stack very easily. He's actually just going to try to destroy those. Hammerheads are going to leave. That's actually, no, there's quite a number of hammerheads still remaining, so there you go. Oh, that's not good. He actually has destroyed that bridge over there as well. He needs some AA or something over here to prevent these guys from being destroyed. He's trying to pump out a Marv. There is a turret here, though. And he's just going to focus his tanks down as well. Oh, that's not good. bike-RUsh might want to be careful. He's throwing away a few venoms here. This one turret as well. There is some type of jet coming in here as well. Can he shoot that down? No, he can't shoot that down. It's a mine strike. And there is a pitbull here, though, so they should be able to clean this up. Rifleman squad very good at cleaning up the mines, of course, because the mines have almost no health, and the squad can just clean them up super quick. He didn't actually lose any harvesters either, and this harvester here as well, walking onto bike-RUsh's, Technique side of the map. That structure has been a bit of a pain, so he might just want to blow that structure apart now. And these harvesters now being destroyed, as well as the infantry forces. So bike-RUsh losing a few harvesters unnecessarily. They're probably trying to go back to the blue tube field only to realize the bridge is destroyed. That's why they're going around. That structure is finally popped. Technique will be able to pump the Marv out now, but he has nothing to garrison into it. He might just, sell off. Get some more zone raider squads. There is a stealth tank around here, and still no Tiberium core missile. Still not choosing to get that. bike-RUsh might have been thinking about a base push then, but hearing the Marv come out, he's like, well, hang on a second. We might just cool our jets there and not quite do that. Two zone trooper squads or zone raider squads in there, and looks like 2 engineers going to be joining the Marv as well. And look at this, he's found these units over here, and he might just be trying to destroy them. And look at that, stealth tanks normally really bad versus, hammerhead's really bad versus stealth tanks, but he's actually been engaging the stealth tanks when there's only 1 or 2 of them here or there. There hasn't been if there's 3 or 4 or something like that, it's a bit of a problem. The Venom's are actually doing a really good job of actually destroying most of the hammerheads here. Unfortunately, these hammerheads don't really want to respond to the Venoms, and bike-RUsh not actually pulling those ones back, so unfortunately just going to lose the remainder of these Venoms here. They're $900 each. They are expendable, but you can't just be throwing them away all game. He's still trying to build them up, so yeah, you should really be trying to save those, pull them back, keep them alive. But unfortunately, not going to be the case. He's going to come and have a look and see what Technique's up to. He's actually going to gift another one just for the scouting purposes as well. And that's why you can hear the catalyst coming down now. Boom, see you later, refinery. Technique's probably just going to rebuild that. The Marv, of course, is on its way over here. Only 4 hammerheads to protect it. There are some pitbulls here as well. I think he's looking to garrison these up. He's actually going to try to destroy. He's going to destroy the other refinery. That's a problem. There is something happening over here. EMP buggies there. That Marv is in a lot of problems now. He's going to have to go save that. If he can save the Marv, he'll be set, but he needs to be able to save it first. There's not a lot of damage. There's actually the 2 avatars and the Redeemer here, and the what do you call it? The hammerheads will come in here now. But unfortunately, not getting the EMP buggies that are doing the EMPing. He needs a shockwave. That's the only thing that can save him now. But he's not going to have one, and he will lose that really expensive. That was a nice shutdown. I think if Technique had his forces there, he would have been fine. But because he was trying to deal with the attack over here, he didn't have anything to support the Marv, and he was able to very easily destroy that. So bike-RUsh takes a bit of a heads up there. EMP buggies completed, and now he's going for Tiberium core missile. And he's still producing stealth tanks as well, so that's also good. Well, it's not good for Technique, but it's good for bike-RUsh. Although having said this, bike-RUsh has used up all of it except for the little bits of scraps here. He's harvested most of the Tiberium on his side of that, whereas Technique has a lot, which means Technique has the ability to outproduce bike-RUsh, assuming that bike-RUsh gives him time, but looks like he doesn't want to give him time. He had to rebuild these refs, which is just a real pain. Is this going to be a Reclamator hub? Yes it is. So he's going to try to get the Marv out. The Marv is really the only thing that can stop the Redeemer right now. I mean, he does have a few. Does he have units garrison? He's got rifles and 1 zone squad in there as well. But these pitbulls are going to want to leave. Oh no! Rage Shen causes him to destroy one of his, and he's actually shooting. No, you can actually move the hammerheads. You can move the hammerheads. They're not affected by rage, but they will. But he let them sit there. Oh man, I don't think he's going to be able to do much against this. It's a stealth tank moving in as well. We'll be able to destroy the remaining air forces here. There's only 4 hammerheads. I'm not sure what they're going to be able to do. The tier 3 is probably going to be destroyed. He's going to try to EMP the Reclamator hub, which he will succeed in doing so. That avatar will ultimately be destroyed. Actually lets his tech center be destroyed, so he doesn't actually sell that off Could have been some much needed money. These laser capacitor buggies are coming in here, and he's going to re-EMP the Reclamator hub. There's a stealth tank here. I don't think he's going to be able to get out the Marv. Even if he gets out the Marv, the damage is critical right now. A Mind Strike comes down right on the Reclamator hub, and he's starting to take fire now. And I think Technique has pretty much let this one go. He did a good job getting back into it, but unfortunately, having his first Marv cleaned up simply too easily, and the Reclamator hub falls. Actually, EMPs his own avatars there, but nonetheless, bike-RUsh now takes a 3-1 lead, which means if Technique wants to win this grand final, he needs to win 3 games in a row. Can he do it? Can he do it? Stay tuned. Game number 5 will be coming up right now. Okay guys, welcome back to game number 5 between bike-RUsh+ownz and Technique. We're on Extraction Plateau, aka Tournament Unfinished, and we have bike-RUsh on the left-hand side here. Steel Talons, I'm pretty sure they picked random in this fight again, so it's going to be Steel Talons versus Technique on the top right-hand side, who is Traveler59. Traveler59, what is he going for? That's interesting. Normally you'd put the portal down and then the stasis chamber so you could get the upgrade faster. Then you could sell it off and get more money for disintegrators. But he's actually going all in. Oh no, he's building a refinery. He's actually building a refinery here, so I thought maybe he was just going to go all in with as many disintegrators as he could, which is kind of weird. Again, you probably should put the stasis chamber down after your first racks, just because it's better to get the upgrade faster. He better be careful. He doesn't want to run out of money. He just has enough money to put that ref down, and now he can sell it off. So he's got, what do you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's got 11 squads here. Oh, did bike-RUsh catch a glimpse of that? He has caught a glimpse of it. He's cancelled his second refinery. He's going for units. He's going to dig a foxhole. He's going to have a foxhole in time. He's going to spam out rifles. A rifleman squad can jump straight into that. Wow, this is a really good... This is really well done by bike-RUsh, although no, he's just going to get completely overrun. He clears the foxhole, and he's actually going to kill the harvester. And these are MRTs as well. Oh my god, bike-RUsh, I think he made a bit of an error. He's got MRTs. He doesn't have access to APCs, and he's completely overrun. He is completely overrun. Our Technique is going to get a quick victory. Keeping in mind that he's only got one harvester himself. He pops down the watchtower, and yeah, bike-RUsh, wow, that was a quick game. So Technique pulling out some risky strats here to actually bring one back. So that's going to make the score 2 games to 3. So Technique 2 minutes down, and that game is over. So Technique just needs to bring back one more game to bring it to an ace match. Can he do that? Game number 6 is coming up. Right, okay guys, welcome back to game number 6 here between bike-RUsh+ownz and Technique. It is the best of 7, of course, so bike-RUsh has been on match point for the last 2 games, but he did, sorry, not the last 2 games, the last game, but Technique, despite being on the ropes, did do an all-in, or not quite an all-in, but a very heavy descent push, which managed to get him a win. We have Blackhand from bike-RUsh on the top right-hand side versus, oh no, Vanilla Screen. Wow, actually got 2 portals. He's got 2 portals as Vanilla Screen. Does he not realize he's not Traveler? He's not actually Traveler, and he's building a lot of disintegrators. So, and bike-RUsh, as soon as bike-RUsh selects the disintegrator, he'll know what he's up against. He's not actually able to get any of these structures here because he is going to be overrun somewhat. And yeah, he is killed there, which Technique kind of needs to kill that. And he's actually going to force back the... Oh no, he's actually going to be able to defend that. That's fine. There's a bit hilly there, but Technique kind of throwing those last few buzzers away there. Sells off these portals. He's got quite a lot of squads here. And bike-RUsh, obviously not aware that bike-RUsh is going to move forward now. He is going to move forward. Let's check his vision. Alright. Let's see if he spots it. The shroud is receding. We can see the shroud receding. He didn't spot it. He didn't spot it. He goes straight past it. No, he spots it now. He spots it now. So he saw it. He saw it right there at the last second, just as the shroud disappeared. And he's got an operation center, which means he can build a flame tank. And these are slow disintegrator squads. Look at them. They're all overlapped. And if this flame tank comes out, which it's going to, and it doesn't really... Oh no, he doesn't have stealth harvesters, but when he sees this here, and the flame tank will emerge, and it's got a flame squad with a flame tank, he's gonna lose all of his units here. Does he get... Oh, he actually gets a flame tank! Oh my god! That's not necessary to lose the flame tank, although the Blackhand squad will clean up. Oh man, if he didn't get the flame tank, bike-RUsh would have been in a world of pain. Oh sorry, Technique would have been in a world of pain. because he could use the flame tank to take everything. Surprisingly, Technique doesn't actually have that spike there, so he either forgot to build a second assimilator or just decided not to build one at all. Third harvester comes out now for bike-RUsh, building what appears to be another war factory, so maybe he's going to go 2 war factory all in. Technique, on the other hand, is trying to get his third harvester out, which it will be produced now, so he's slightly behind in economy. bike-RUsh does hold an additional spike over the top of Technique as well. But the flame rush was foiled. He's actually going to re-flame rush. Technique isn't aware of that. He does not know he's going to re-flame rush him. And I think he's going for a ref. He's got no scouts as well. This is something that Unleashed does a lot as well when it gets past the rush phase. He'll just redo the operations center again. You don't really expect a flame tank to come out again. It's just like, well, this already stopped that rush. That rush is over. You'll eco behind this. But no. Obviously, this can put bike-RUsh quite far behind if Technique was to be aware of it. But the thing is, Technique's not going to be aware of it. He's building harvesters. He's got a gunwalker there, but I mean, that's not really going to alert him till this flame tank is coming at his base right now. He needs seeker tanks. He's constructing something now, but I believe that's going to just be a reactor, which it is. He's going to clean up these scouts, but it's just to buy time to keep the gunwalker in the main base, and he's not going to see this flame tank till it rocks up on his doorstep. Oh no, this is going to be devastating. He needs seeker tanks, he needs them now, he's trying to build them, he's got another structure being queued. There's no silos here for Scrin, which means he can't building block or anything like that. He's not even trying to shoot at the flame tank. He's going to lose. There's another flame tank coming in right behind it as well. Buzzer Hive comes in, that's not really going to work. Seeker tanks are out. If he loses the warfare, there's a record here. Oh, there's a record here. This is devastating. This is a really powerful rush by itself against Scrin, and to not see that coming at all. And that is the end of the tournament, so 2 super quick games at the end there. Means that bike-RUsh will win 4 games to 2 in the second round of his World Cup challenge there. So that was a good series. That was pretty good, I guess. There was a few real short ones there, but there's a few real long ones and awkward, unusual games. But what are the bike-RUsh+ownz? He's going to win that series. Technique did make a game of it there, but I just felt that Technique could have played a little bit better in some of the other games. There's some of the other games where he really could have won, and it would have been a lot closer, but unfortunately he just didn't make the appropriate decisions, and bike-RUsh will capitalize wherever you don't make the right decision. But anyway, that was a really good game from those players. I hope you all enjoyed this series. I'll do my best to bring you some more games as soon as possible. Don't forget to check out my stream until the 19th of November. That'll be still going. And then eventually when I get good internet, streaming a lot more often. But I'm saving all the past streams so you can watch those as well. A lot of good games there, a lot of good action, got a lot of good players. But anyway, I'm Green Zero. I'll catch you all in the next video.